Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So, I had to start it over because it's a difficult video, but I feel like it's necessary. I want to do it. So, it all started 5 years ago. It was the day after Halloween, the 1st of November. And I was home. I had just got in from work that evening. Well, I worked till midnight, and it was like 7 in the morning when I got the call from my mom. And you know when your parents call by the tone of their voice, or anybody that's close to you by the tone of their voice, whether or not it's something you should be alarmed about. Prior to this day, my guard was down. Like, I'm not like anticipating, it being something tragic or horrible. So I'm like, oh, what is it? You need me to take you to the supermarket, what, like something like that. But unfortunately, as she got the words out, she said my name. She said, the police are here. And I immediately, like, your heart literally drops to the floor. She says, the police are here and they have some news they want to tell me, but they're not going to tell me until another family member is here. And I'm thinking, like, my spirit left my body, and I'm like looking at myself like, how do you deal with that sentence? What do you do now? Because it's I instantly knew I was not going to be the same after whatever I'm going to uncover or discover. I just knew. I knew, and I kind of knew what had happened, not the specifics, but I knew. I just knew. So I got in my car, drove over to my mother's house, and the whole time I'm driving, if I heard an ambulance or something, or some type of commotion, it just was like, I was just like jittery because I just knew something bad had happened. I get to her house just for her to tell me that my only sister, growing up, it's just me, my sister, and my mom. My only sister was murdered. And I'm just like, think about the worst news somebody could possibly tell you, and then times that by 10, and then have it told to you just outright, and then try to process that. Like, you can't process it, and I am that same guy standing there on that same day, hearing that news forevermore. Like, you just cannot ever process something like that. You go forward, but it just still, that kind of tragedy, the way it happened, doesn't make sense. So I immediately, being who I am, jumped into survival mode. And what do we need to do? Where are the kids? Like, who, what, why, when, how, all that stuff. Like, started answering these questions and trying to make it make sense, And that will be 5 years ago. And today's her birthday. And she would have been 31 years old today. Very young, taken from us very young. And she leaves behind 2 children. Two beautiful, beautiful children who I knew since the day they were born, because I was there, that I was going to have a more significant role in their lives. So much so, when my nephew was born, he's the oldest, I was like, I used to from the day he was born, I was there. And I used to watch him. I would come home from school. I was in school then, and I would watch him. And I would talk to him like an adult, because I had never had an experience with watching a baby. So I'm like, let's have a conversation. I knew what to do, how to change diapers and how to feed him and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like interacting with a baby for hours at a time, I'm just like, hey, baby. It's not Google Gaga. I talked to him regularly, and I promise you, he would look at me as if he knew every word that I was saying. It just was an intelligence behind those baby eyes that I knew lived there, and we just, that was my buddy, and yeah, and we would go places and the zoo, and we just grew up together in the house. And my sister needed help, of course. She was young, and I was there to help her brother, her only older brother, and that's exactly what I did. And we had some difficult times, but we also had some good times. Sorry about that. And then she had my niece. Same situation. It wasn't the best of situations, but it was the best of situations. She was a beautiful baby, and I was there, my mother was there to help her bring this life into the world. And fast forward to her losing her life, and me having to decide to take these two children and show them a normal that's better than the tragedy that they've just experienced. So let's all move together, and that's what happened, and the rest is history. And we do well for the most part. For the most part, we do very, very well. But we have moments where the grief is just unbearable. I know for me that I could grieve as if it just happened. If I just think a little too much longer on it in any day, it doesn't go away. It doesn't get any easier. You just learn to deal with it and move forward and try to have better memories. But that type of tragedy is just there. So today is her birthday. Like I said, she would have been 31 years old, smart, beautiful. It's just, sometimes in life, some of us, our journeys are in our eyes cut short, but if you're a believer, then you realize that everybody has a role, everybody has a job, and everything happens for a reason, whatever the hell that means. I'm still trying to figure that out. But Lord knows we do the best we can. And I just felt like I needed to share that story. I probably will never talk about this topic again, but that's okay. It's there, it's out there, and I think she deserved that. I came downstairs today, and my niece says to me, "You didn't say happy birthday." I'm like, "Little girl, it's not your birthday." She was like, I'm like, "Oh, I didn't forget, of course. I just didn't know." She was like the birthday police, but but I like that, so. Pray for our strength if you're a prayer. Wish for our strength if you're a wisher. Cast us some strength if you're into that. But just know that, you know, some people out here are going through and thriving and surviving. And it is what it is. So happy birthday, my sister. And all the rest of you, peace and blessings. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.